Hello everyone, Kevin Dennis from Gravitec Systems here. I'm the Corporate Account Manager. Welcome, thank you very much for signing on to our live announcement. It is a crazy, crazy time for everybody. I sincerely hope that you, your company, your family, everybody within your social circle is doing okay during this pandemic. You know, you have nothing but the sincerest of thoughts from everybody here at Gravitec Systems to you and your social group. So our announcement today is several announcements actually. The first is this, you know, Gravitec Systems has got 35 years of customers phoning us, are you open for business? My certs are expiring, I had a class, I had to postpone it. My retraining is coming due. We're responding to all of these needs, and the very first response that we did is this. We've built this live streaming studio. As what you're looking at right now should look very similar to your morning news. We've got an anchor desk, we've got a studio, professional lighting, audio, 6 different camera angles, live streaming people, whether it's myself, engineers, trainers. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to help you as well as us in changing the way we train and handling all of the social restrictions that are on with training right now. So the very first announcement is we're going to do more of this. All right. Every Thursday at this time, noon Pacific Standard, we're going to have short little fall protection topics that you can send in to all of your people that are remote, whether they're at their office or in their basement, wherever it may be. And we're just going to start handling a Q&A session on fall protection, rope access, and rescue. Next week's session is going to be myself addressing competent person. What is a competent person? What does OSHA say a competent person is? Why do I have to have one? Who is it within my organization? What's the training of a competent person? If I'm not a competent person, does that mean I'm an incompetent person? We're going to take a deep dive into the competent person definition. And again, it's all just little bits to support you and your continuing education efforts for your people up at Heights. Right? Next part of the announcement is how we are addressing courses that are going on right now, courses going into the future. If you are an existing customer of ours, chances are you've been in a class that's been postponed, you've put training off until pandemic is over, and we're starting to see all of these concerns arise with how are we going to continue training, how do we keep our doors open, how do we update our certificates, how do we do all of these things given no travel, COVID policies, social distancing requirements. So I want to take a few minutes and tell you how Gravitec Systems is handling that and how we're able to work with you to address you know, training that's going on and future training courses. So number one, we're in it with you. We're outside of Washington State outside of Seattle in Washington State. For those of you who are unfamiliar with us, the state was shut down for the better part of 2.5, 3 months for stay home, stay safe. We had remote workers, we had people coming into the offices alone. We did everything just like everybody else to keep the business going and supporting our customers through all of that. So for the training, if you have a class, the very first option is if you have the ability for a Gravitec instructor to come to your facility, we can still travel to your location and conduct a training class as we normally would, with several social distancing requirements in place. Number one, we don't do 2 instructors, 20 people all in one class. Okay? It's 1 instructor, much smaller group, to where we can maintain social distancing requirements. Number 2, it's dedicated PPE. Each of your students have their own harness, their own helmet, their own gloves, their own rope, to reduce the amount of mixing and matching that's going on with most courses. Number 3, all of the standard PPE is in place. Gravitec instructor will have face mask, you know, sanitizing, hand sanitizer, temperature checks, and in certain situations we can even supply testing for that instructor, and in some cases even quarantine those people before they come to your location. So One of the ways you can continue your training is still instructor-led, instructor coming out to your location to conduct it. Second option is you still come to our facility here outside of Seattle in Paulsville, Washington. Again, we are open. They're just like everybody. We have several social distancing requirements, and some of the things we've done for the in-house classes. Number one, we reduced the class size. So throughout the day of the training and the week of training, you're able to stay isolated from other people that you don't necessarily have to be in contact with. Number three, break areas, lunchrooms, coffee, et cetera, all of those little nuances have been separated, so you get your own dedicated area and coffee cup if need arises. All right. Number three, with the courses that are going on here, all staff are face masks. And we do have the hand wash stations, sanitizing stations, and the equipment is kept separate. We're using mannequins for our rescue exercises, as we kind of always have, rather than other students, to minimize the amount of contact that's there. So that's choice number two, is you can still come here and do the class if you're able to travel in some manner. All right. Number three is we're going to take full advantage of this stuff. Okay? All of Gravitec's classes have an academic portion where there's the PowerPoint presentations, Q&A, theoretical. That is all going to be pushed to this live streaming service. Okay? All courses, you can take the first half, if you will, or quarter, whatever it is, all the academic elements on through this live streaming. And then when the time is right, okay, either you'll come to our facility or a Gravitec instructor will go to your location and will conduct the hands-on portion. Gravitec, for those of you who are familiar with us, we started out as an education company and we're still dedicated to it. We want to make sure, and we believe, that the best learning is when you can interact with an instructor. You can ask your question. If you don't understand something, you can ask them to back up and repeat it in a different way. So a lot of learning that's just being pushed 100% to online, where you watch a video on clearance, well, you can't ask a question if you don't understand that clearance requirement. The only thing you can do is rewind and watch that video over and over and over again. And if it didn't make sense to you the first time, it's probably going to not make sense to you the fifth time. So that's why we've invested in this studio, so you can talk to me, you can talk to an engineer, I can bring in other people to answer your questions, as we believe that's valuable to get a quality of education. And then we also believe that the education is really solidified through the hands-on exercises. I can talk to you until I'm blue in the face about how a harness works, but until you put it on and wear it for a couple of hours and climb in it and hang in it, that's where the real learning takes place. So given the travel restrictions for everybody, you can't travel, we can't travel, nobody's coming in or out, let's do the academic portion here when time, as time permits right now. And then we'll just hit the pause button on the exercise until such time that we can meet face-to-face and go through it. That's turning into probably our most feasible training option for many of our customers right now, is let's do what we can given the current environment, and then take the opportunity when the time is right to do the observation of performances and exercises. Okay? Fourth option is if you've already taken a class, okay, and you're looking to refresh a certificate, you have already done a lot of the hands-on exercises. So there is some tolerance just to extend somebody's certification period with the academics alone. So competent person courses, tower courses, wind courses, where somebody has already performed the hands-on exercises, there is, again, some tolerance to extend those certificates for a period of time until we can actually redo those exercises. Oh. And if you're a trainer and you've taken a train the trainer course with us before and your cert is coming up for expiry dates and refresher training, we've got several creative ways that we can handle that. You can take the academic portion online, and then through live streaming, through dropping a video of you training, dropping a video of some of your students conducting the exercises, we should be able to work our way through these research through all the media options that we have. So this is kind of a big thing, and that's why we wanted to drum up a live announcement. Is we've invested in this studio. We have the people, the technology, and the knowledge to help you facilitate your ongoing training efforts with your fall protection program and your people. Okay, so I don't know if there's been any questions that have come in, Chris, during this time. So fantastic, everybody. Thank you very much for plugging in here for a couple of minutes and listening to our announcement. Next Thursday, 12 o'clock, we're going to deal with competent person, and I hope to see you then.